Hi, and welcome to the next episode of The Next 90%. I'm Erin.
I'm Caitlin.
I'm Matt.
I'm Dobbins, and this week we are bringing you Maria Pacailler, 2021 Positively Unstoppable Champion, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her transformation story and how she's taken it on past her weight loss.
Hello, I'm Maria Pacailler. And I was just going to talk a little bit about my journey. So I guess starting out, going all the way back to 2011, January 2011, I was like 323 pounds. I was entering my last year of college. Yes. And I decided to get the bariatric surgery because I was looking to lose weight. I knew that I was motivated to lose weight. So the sleeve surgery, the gastric sleeve surgery, was something that I chose to do. It seemed right for me at the time. And I lost a bunch of weight. I got down to about 202 pounds pretty quickly. I want to say within that year, it just flew off. And by November, I would say that year I had lost all that weight, and it was easy because I couldn't mess it up. If I did, I'd throw up or I'd be in pain. So like there was no way around it. Then I got stuck there, and I just kind of let it fester. And then I was like, I'm just gonna ignore it because it'll come off. It has been coming off. Why wouldn't it? I started really living like I was in college. I started being social. Now that I wasn't hiding behind my weight, I started dating. I started going out, and I slowly stretched my stomach out. So by the time that I met my husband in 2013, I had already gained back about 40 pounds. So I had stretched it out that quickly, that fast. And throughout my relationship with him, I've been with him since 2013. We got married in 2016, and in February 2020, I weighed in at 363 pounds. So not only did I gain back my weight in less than a decade, but I gained it back. I gained back more. So that's when I decided. I actually found BDPY the year prior after seeing Vance's video. And I was like, well, if he can do this, I can do this. So I did it a little bit on and off that year. And then 2019 was just a really hard year for me. My grandfather died like January, end of January. My mother was in the hospital with multiple organ failure, and we're very close. She actually works with me now. She just lives 20 minutes away from me, and that was really hard. So we couldn't even go to my grandpa's funeral because we were dealing with that. I got a brand new car that ended up having all of the issues and fighting with a major car dealership that I can't mention because I signed paperwork that said I wouldn't. And it was just that was stressful throughout the year. My husband lost his job several times that year. It was a bad year. So we can always use that as an excuse as to overeat, indulge, and I did. I absolutely says that as an excuse. So 2020, I decided I'm going to be 30 this year. I need to do something because time is not going to be on my side. And so reading Positively Unstoppable, I realized I needed to write down my why. And so I wrote it down, which was I want to be healthy enough to start a family and to live for that family. Because that was always our goal. We wanted to start a family. And nobody had ever told me I can't have kids at 363 pounds. To me, it just didn't seem like a good idea. It was not setting me up for success. So that was the goal. And February 2020, February 17th, 2020, so tomorrow is the 2-year date of that. I started, and I took it very seriously. And by November 2020, November 23rd, 2020, I had lost 100 pounds. And then by the year mark of February 17th, 2021, I had lost 131 pounds. And that year, with 2021, was the year that I decided to enter the challenge. And I was nervous because I was like, oh, I've really lost the majority of my weight, but let's see what I can do. So throughout the challenge, I lost about 50 some odd pounds. It's been a long day at school. I'm off on the math. I've lost a total of 172 pounds. So that was pretty cool. And now, the goal is still the same. We want to have a family. I kind of came out about this on the challenge group, the 2021 challenge group, but I actually had a miscarriage in October of last year. So that was hard because that was my why. Like that was my motivation to do any of this. And so that it was hard to come back from, but also I didn't let myself then fall down. I was like, okay, this was a thing that happened. And honestly, when it happened, I knew something was wrong from the beginning, but I just thought it was anxiety. Turns out it was intuition. There was something wrong. And that I was really proud of myself that I didn't let that ruin me. And I definitely took that as a really big win. So after that happened, I realized, I mean, that's fine. We'll keep trying. The goal is to get to 180, which, I was about
Can
12
I
pounds
stop you for 1 second?
Yeah.
I just want to back up for 1 second. That's not a big win. That's a huge win.
Thank
Because
you.
what you guys went through at that point, that's every excuse to quit. Like
Yeah.
that's a major thing. Like that's a trauma. And to just say, okay, and just to keep on moving. I don't discount that, Maria. That's a huge win.
Right.
So put that up on the huge win category there
Yeah.
because working through that and coming out the other side of that's a big deal.
Yeah. And I think I didn't let myself process it for a while because I just kept telling myself, I can do this again. It'll be fine. I can do this again. And honestly, when it did happen, I felt immediate relief where I was like, oh, because I knew something was wrong and I just felt like no one believed me. So it was mental and physical relief. So that actually made me feel better. But I didn't deal then with the feelings part of it. And I needed to deal with that or it was going to turn into something else.
And a lot of people don't know this, and I don't think I've ever told anybody this, but when I was married the first time, we had 6 miscarriages, which ultimately led to my blow up. And because I didn't have anybody to deal with it. I mean, she was going through her own thing, but nobody really cares what the feelings the man has. It's, the deal. Make sure, and as a male, it's make sure that your wife is good, in your company, but nobody really checks on me. So after 6 of them, I I just didn't have anywhere to turn to deal with it. So definitely make sure you're taking the time for both of you to check in mentally with each other.
Yeah.
It's a little, and and that's what ended my first marriage is just over that we kind of grew apart, and the trauma actually took us apart. Not to say that's going to happen with you guys. I'm just saying make
Yeah.
sure you both guys check in with each other on that.
Yeah, I was actually more worried about him and just being the type of person I am. And I think it's actually what not caused but allowed me to get so big was I focus on other people. Um, I don't know if that's like how I find self worth is by how much I help other people and care about other people, but it's a natural instinct, and I think about myself secondary. So with my husband, I like going through it, and I'm sorry if this is graphic, but like when it was happening, I didn't even wake him up because it happened in the middle of the night. Because I knew I was going to feel better and I knew he wasn't going to be able to handle it. And so I took it upon myself to go through it by myself because I knew that he was going to be upset because he was always optimistic throughout it. He was one of the people being like, everyone says it's okay. Everything is fine. And so I knew he was going to be really upset when it happened. And we ended up taking a little trip the next weekend, getting away to see some of our DDPY friends who were visiting Austin. And um, I think he felt better that I felt better I think that was what was important to him. It was a loss, even though it was a loss of something that wasn't really there. It was still because it was a chemical pregnancy. That was the other thing. It actually wasn't a baby, but it was like we thought it was. So it's a real loss. It just wasn't a real baby. Yep.
So I think that I recognizing a couple of different things, but normalizing a lot of that here, and I really want to thank you for sharing that. I think that when you hear someone share out just about a miscarriage, but also the mental health care that comes after that, right, and how that affects beyond just your body and beyond your relationship, but also the ripple effects that that has. That you go through some level of grief or trauma or trying to process that, you can easily backslide on your own health, whether it be physical or mental, and being able to even recognize that you're in process of that, whether you're dealing with it or not, is a huge step to even recognize that that's a component of that. Especially because, again, like, people don't talk about this enough. It's something that in my field, I work in higher education and stuff, and we talk a lot about it. We do a lot of education work with particularly women's health, and talking about how common that is. And so I want to thank you, one, for sharing that, and two, for recognizing the huge component of the mental health care of it, of continuing to care for yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, and really having people recognize that the body care is more than just the physical body care, that it's recognizing the other parts of yourself that you need to take care of in order to continue on.
Yeah, for sure. And then the after component of that, of then my body had gone through an actual trauma at that point, and just regulating itself back into weight loss mode. It didn't happen. It's stuck since then, and I've been okay. Like, I understand the logic of it, that that my body went through something, and it's okay that the scale isn't moving the way that I want it to, and I know I'm doing everything that I need to do to make sure that it does, and I'm also just not being hard on myself, because it I understand the logic of it, and it was one of those things where I always knew that I could lose weight logically. I just didn't believe in myself to do it. And the last time I went through a plateau, I knew what it was logically. Like, my body has just lost 100 and something odd pounds. It might need to just catch up, or maybe this is where it wants to be. So I'm perfectly okay with the logic of it, but it's the mental aspect of, but that's not what I wanted. And just being okay with, Dallas talks about that, you shoot for a star, and if you go to the little left, you go to the little right. I had to change that because I was explaining to someone today, literally at school, to a dartboard, that if you throw, you're always aiming for that bullseye, but you still get points if you hit around it. Like, if you hit the board, you're good. It might not be exactly what you wanted, but you're just going for the board, and you can still get points. So that's how I like to think of it. Is, no, this isn't what I had planned for, but it's not always going to be, and that's okay.
So, how did you kind of work to reframe that for yourself going into this year? You especially, you come off this thing, it's a big win. You have a lot of people, really interested in your journey and asking, obviously a lot of questions and stuff. But how do you take that time for yourself, and, kind of where are you at in determining what you want going forward, and how you're going to keep yourself as well as you can, and what are those goals that you're working towards now?
So, I didn't have a ton of people reaching out to me. I want to say, out of the people who won this year, I'm one of the medium to lower posters, where I don't post a ton of stuff. I like to say I take a Beyonce method, and I just, I only post every so often, but when I do, it's a really big deal. So that's the method I use in social media. But I didn't have a ton of people reach out to me after winning. A couple, sure, but compared to some of the other people who won, I didn't. I don't know if that's, maybe the other people's story is more relatable. I don't know. I don't know how many women there are who need to lose 172 pounds, but I'm now,
Maybe it's because you're a vice principal.
and I'm scary. Yeah, I literally have had a parent tell me, you're eyes are really intimidating right now. And I was like, sir, my eyes are gorgeous. I don't know what you're talking about. Thank you. And I was like, your kid hit someone, but my eyes are aggressive. Okay, cool. Just wanted to get that on record. But we, the coming out of it, it was kind of like I love that documentary, The Weight of Gold, on HBO about I want to say Michael Phelps was one of the producers, but he was also in it about how these athletes, they train for years in their whole lifetime for sometimes like a sport that lasts less than a minute, and they have that one opportunity and then it's done. And whether you won or you didn't won, it's done. And what do you do now? And that was sort of how I was feeling at the end of the competition coming back from Atlanta, where I was like, am I done? I don't think I'm done. I'm plateaued, but I don't think I'm like finished with this. But I wasn't really sure in what direction I wanted to go. So I just had that goal of get to 180 pounds. Not really a timeline on it because my body was still kind of going through stuff and I didn't want to put that pressure on me. So I was like, just keep doing what you're doing. It's been working for me, but I don't think that that's a method that I would have been able to do without having done this whole other year and a half of actual working towards that.
So are
Building
you
that
like,
discipline.
yeah. So are you like rebuilding your SmackDown goal sheet, or are you just saying, this is how much weight I want, and I'm just going to sort of run with it that way?
So, I'm gonna stop tap dancing around it. I'm pregnant, so that's the announcement.
Mazel tov.
I'm gonna
Awesome.
announce it like officially tomorrow.
Congrats.
I'm sorry, I couldn't figure out how to get out of this anymore. I'm not losing weight, so that's the thing now is that not trying to do that anymore.
Well, that is a very, very reasonable excuse.
Yeah, I think so. So, and then plot twist, it's twins. So,
Wow.
yeah,
God.
yeah, it's really cool.
I got my question then.
Yeah, my husband's here.
Yay, husband!
No,
Congratulations.
it's actually my fault. The twins went on my side. I take full credit for this. He has nothing to do with it other than he was there. Okay, it's
Okay,
all me. I'm the one who's
Maria.
possibly unstoppable. Okay? These are definitely Yanez kids. I'm just gonna say it.
That's
But
awesome.
that was a shock that we learned on Monday because
Very cool.
I've been pregnant for about a month. Actually, Caitlin and Justin, when we were on that call during Martin Luther King Day, I was really trying not to throw up.
Oh,
It had nothing to do with y'all. I just was really trying, and I thought it was weird because it was a little early for nausea, but turns out that can happen when it's twins. You get a lot of hormones. And
That's awesome.
I'm feeling all of it. So that was with the 2-year anniversary of my weight loss journey tomorrow. I'm gonna make a big Beyonce post about it, and she had twins too, I think. And anyway, not
There you go.
not
I'm
gonna
gonna do
do
a real low key post tomorrow. I will definitely say it's gonna be something real bland.
Yeah. But that was
Well, we could honestly share this tomorrow because Matt will have this ready to go by 8 a.m. So
for sure, absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna post something really early tomorrow morning. Like I already have it drafted and everything. I'm just gonna post
Nice.
it and go for it. So, yeah, that's the
Congratulations.
announcement for tomorrow.
So my
Congrats.
question for you is, since you're now pregnant with twins, are you going to try to focus more like mainly on your nutrition during the pregnancy, since possibly you'll get to a point where the working out will be, I mean,
Impossible.
harder? Like, well, let's not say impossible,
No,
because
no,
there's always
it's
a way,
not.
but it'll be
Obviously,
much, it'll be,
2.0. You'll need
It
it.
is
but it'll be much harder.
Yeah, it's a fear
Is
of
that,
mine.
will that be
I
like
won't
your,
be able to do this stuff. I'll say getting big in general, like getting out of weight loss mode, is what I'm mentally working on right now. Is
gotcha.
like literally, my doctor the other day said you are eating like you're trying to lose weight, and you have 2 people growing inside of you, so you got to stop that.
Right.
And so basically, what she told me was maintenance plus 600 to 800 calories. And in my head, that's whoa, because for the last 2 years, that's not what I've been doing. And
Right.
I can't. It's hard to even imagine that. What is that? And finding a balance between weight loss mode and Chick-fil-A. Like, what's the balance there? Binge eating Chick-fil-A all day. Like, what's the balance? So definitely nutrition and health is a big thing. I did the last year on a plant-based diet and not doing that anymore because I can't figure out how to get the calories. That's I wish I could say it was for like ethical reasons and I was like a good person, but it was really for like dietary reasons. I just felt better. But I definitely have gone back to meat. So I'm still trying to stick with that, like not doing carbs and meat together, that sort of thing. And still no gluten, still no dairy, but eating more. That's what I'm working on. And like also making sure that I'm eating on time. Like this is ginger ale. I get nauseous if I don't. So that's I have to have that and making sure that I eat on time so that I don't start feeling nauseous. Like I was leading a professional development today and just grabbed a bag of Doritos. I just announced it to the staff and I was just like, y'all, there's 2 people in here. Like I gotta go. Like I'm just gonna eat and talk. So that was it's fine having those little snacks because I don't want to go to Doritos just because they're there. Like I wanna have my gluten free. I think they are gluten free, but my gluten free crackers that aren't Doritos.
Right.
So it's finding that balance, but then also learning for me. It's only failure if you don't learn from it. So like with that bag of Doritos, I know at 3:45 I should have a snack near me that I want to eat, not finding something that's around.
Well, and now the question too is, you're one of the champions for this past year and pregnant. Maybe approaching Dallas about adding to his prenatal workout series.
Yeah. So he also kind of talked to me about that. And he said, yeah, becoming like let's start you getting to be an instructor and then you can come and do a workout. And so I was like, okay, let me go buy the thing that says I can be an instructor and like get that training going. But they're sold out. And so I went, so I don't know how to do that. And I just haven't brought it up to him again to think that I gotta ask him. I think Brian Tan was reaching out to one of the people who leads that part of it for me. So we're gonna see what that is. But yeah, I've been kind of pushing more for that in general, especially like when I was in Atlanta. I was like, did y'all know y'all only have one prenatal workout? I was like, there are people who are I know I'm not the only one who's on this journey so that they can become pregnant. And I will say I've looked at it in the lens of um, what you learn in that workout. If you do it enough and you know the accommodations, you can pretty much do that with any workout. And so if you look at it like that, as like this is the dime a dozen of pregnancy workouts, and just apply it to the other ones, that's been really helpful for me.
You just really gotta focus on catcher, because then you'll be like the best in labor and delivery.
I
As a doula, I'm just saying,
several
catcher.
times a day. I was
Just
like, this needs to be
Yep.
super second nature to me.
Yep.
to
You just
be
do
able to
catcher
this.
every day because I
Yep.
used to have the moms in the pool and they couldn't
Yeah.
do catcher. And I'm telling you, if you
Yep.
got that down, you'd be all right.
Absolutely. I do catcher all the time. I wake up, catcher. That's what we're doing.
And if you need modifications around your belly, getting past your knees, holler at me. I was there at one
There
point.
you go. Yeah, exactly.
Just got pregnant.
Yeah, and that's again. I'm really scared of getting big. Um, mentally, I think I know logically it's gonna happen. Duh. And when I told Dallas, he was like, "Man, you really asked for it, huh?" I was like, "Thanks." So
Well,
that's
the good news is now you have that foundation, you have that discipline,
mhm,
and you know how you want to eat.
mhm.
And I think you're going to kill this.
Yeah. I'm hoping. I've been really quiet on social media the last month and a half that I've known. So it's because I'm like, I know I'm gaining weight, and it's only been like 5 pounds, by the way. I was like, oh, because I'm definitely eating a lot. Or a lot that I think it's a lot, but it's not according to my doctor. But I didn't want to say, I didn't want anybody to mention anything before I was ready, especially after what had happened last time. And we're still kind of early to mention it or really like announce, but I thought it'd be really cool on my 2-year sort of like anniversary of it. And we also, other assistant principal said the babies are already eating your brain, and I was like, that is not an excuse.
Well, at dual experience, just let you know, like with two or multiples, it all happens faster. So you having pregnancy brain now is symptomatic because it's going to be earlier. So don't feel like it's just all going to happen more to you. More magic is what we used to say. Just more magic.
Fun.
And you're right. Your body is burning more calories. I mean, you're burning more calories just doing the production. So I wouldn't beat yourself up too much.
Logically, I can tell myself that. Yeah,
I do understand that though.
Hormonally.
Yeah. And just kind of, previously fat girl, it's scary. It's scary. I don't want to lose this. But at the same time, like Dal said, I really asked for it. So it is what it is. And the other thing I keep trying to tell myself is temporary. Like I've done this before. I've lost the weight before. I can do it again.
That's right.
Well, now you'll have that motivation of the kids too. So.
Yeah.
Well, and you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
And just
I think go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think with pregnancy, like it also doesn't mean it doesn't always mean massive weight gain. Like you can gain, but it doesn't mean you have to gain excessive amounts of weight either. Because you're so conscientious already about having these tools, having the plan. You've already thought about your nutrition. You've talked to your doctor, so you are already setting yourself up for more success and not over gaining. Like it's natural to gain weight during a pregnancy, but you're not gonna. I don't feel like with the tools that you've set up that you're risking over gaining.
Mm-hmm. Dallas was talking to me about when I had first told him. He said, this is hard and it's scary, and then you're gonna have 2 kids. And I said, oh, I'm not worried about the parenting. I parent other people's kids. I got that. It's the being pregnant part. Like, I can take care of kids. I take care of everybody's kids. So I can parent. I'm just scared of the weight gain part. But that's a good thing to be scared of, because that's temporary and that can be fixed.
Yeah, and look what you get out of the deal, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yay.
No sleep for 18 years.
Yeah.
That's right.
Pretty much.
At least. I definitely one of the initial setbacks I had mentally, I started February 17th, 2020. Mid-March, right before spring break, the day we were going into spring break, which, oh, by the way, we never came back from spring break that year. My brother called me to tell me that his wife was pregnant, and I had a little spoiled firstborn meltdown of I wanted to be the first one. And I mean, I was obviously very congratulatory to him, like, yay. But, I wanted to be first. Like, that was a goal of mine. And that was, I was like, that was taken away from me. It wasn't ever mine to begin with. I don't know why I felt so entitled to it, but I did. And I had to work through that part of that bullseye that I wanted was no longer going to happen. So I could give up, or I can keep going. And then he had the nerve to have another kid like 15 months later. I was like, can you just stop? Like, just put a pause on it. Can someone else catch up? And then, like, I sure did catch up.
Probably should have kept your mouth shut the first
I know,
two.
and that's what I said. Like, I was joking, and like I guess I should be appreciative because clearly they've already learned to take me seriously. So that's a good thing, I guess. I said they're like their father. They don't understand all of my sarcasm.
Oh, this is so exciting, though.
Yeah.
This is I'm not biased, but I was like, this is the best podcast news ever. Like, this is the best.
Well, I'm hoping to be a little bit more, not more, because I'm really transparent about a lot of my journey, but just I guess more available, post maybe a little bit more, so that other people who are going through this, or who are looking to go through this, or who will be going through this, can kind of see that part of the journey, and the cool parts and the failures too. I want it to be not just a learning experience for me, but that's really something that I want to give back to the community. As somebody who started so that I could start a family, I know I'm not the only one who did that. So I just, if I can help in that way, even with the miscarriage stuff, when I was going through it, I was like, I'm going through this so that I can help somebody else. Because that's why else? Like that's what's happening is somebody's going to be in this similar situation and they're going to need to hear the experience. And I felt like when I was going through it, not that nobody's had a miscarriage before, but I really felt like I was going crazy. Like nobody was listening to me and I knew something was wrong. And if I can be there for somebody who's in that situation to be like, if you know something's wrong, advocate for yourself. Not that there's anything you can do, but advocate for yourself. Like even if you think you need to talk to your doctor or I need this test or whatever. I don't think that there was anything differently I could have done other than be more educated.
Thank you for being with us today for this next 90% episode with Maria, and we appreciate everything. You guys visit us, like, share, and subscribe.
Thanks for joining us.